All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Catch weight, 130 pounds, brought to you by Chips Transmission. Your referee for this bout will be Jimmy Neely. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner with an undefeated record of 2 wins and no losses. He weighed in 129 pounds. Fighting out of Team Ludus in Johnson City, Tennessee, Joey Pelletier. Standing across the cage tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, a perfect record, 2 wins, no losses. He weighed in 130 pounds. Fighting out of Bushido MMA, King Sport, Tennessee, Jim Warlord.
Here at Apex 4, we have seen Bushido MMA fight 3 times. They've got 3 wins. They're going to try for the clean sweep here as Jim Lord goes against Joey Pelletier from Team Ludus. John Morehouse, Tyler Minton, and Josh Cate here with all the action cage side. 2 undefeated fighters. Somebody's coming out of here with their first loss. Somebody coming out possibly in title contention, Josh Cate, depending on this outcome. So see how things go here. It's kind of been Bushido's night, Tyler.
Yeah,
so
man,
far.
They're a relatively new gym to the area. You know, a lot of people still haven't heard about them. They brought an amazing crowd. They might have more crowd here than anybody except maybe Primetime. You know, have a really good support system, really good coaches, and so far, really good fighters.
They look pretty good. I think the most significant damage sustained by Bushido has been Jay Page's taking an elbow to the nose inadvertently during the Brock Walker celebration in the last fight. I know you did. All right, so both guys kind of keeping it standing so far. Lord trying to slug it out a little bit. Dirty boxing there. Pelletier answering. Lord with a stumble. Oh, and he takes a huge shot to the head. Some good scrappy stand-up here so far, Josh Cate.
Yeah, neither guys are throwing big haymakers. They're throwing decent punches, but they're really throwing down.
You know, I believe this was first set as a bantamweight fight. It was actually at a 130 catch weight. So, you know, we might see the winner, you know, be in the title contention in a couple of weight classes, one of which held by one of your fighters, Josh, Will Bolduc.
Yeah, I would really like to see Will fight one of these guys.
Will definitely would have the experience advantage in that fight. Both these guys are just 2-0, I believe.
2-0, very, very, you know, young in the sport, but both seem to be pretty comfortable. You know, they're going out, establishing dominance right off the bat. At this point, I really have no idea who I would be giving it to. I would hate to be the judges right now.
It's really been kind of back and forth. You know, Lord will win one exchange, then Pelletier turn around and respond and put together a nice little combination. And, you know, with this lighter weights, you know, these guys, you know, should have cardio for days. So, you know, we'll have to see if they can maintain this pace overall. 3 rounds in 9 minutes if necessary.
Both these guys obviously feel comfortable on their feet. Really no attempt at any takedowns yet.
Let's go, Joey! You know, Tyler, as you were alluding to in an earlier fight here, do you feel like in a situation where it is kind of back and forth on the feet, somebody should go for the takedown to try and lock down this first round?
I think it would seal the deal in the round, but when you're the fighter, when you're both guys fighting, you really don't know who's winning, so you might not have the mind to actually make that decision, especially being so new. That being said, though, a takedown could win this round.
And right there, Lord with the takedown. Had the single leg there. Pelletier immediately goes to his guard. Final 10 seconds. I think that probably will win the round for Lord.
That's exactly how I would have it scored.
Opinion. There you go. That's the end of the round. As we wait to start of round 2 here, you might be able to hear the Bushido fans chanting Jim Lord's name. You know, again, this is a fight with some possible championship ramifications here in the Valor Fights umbrella of promotions. It'll be interesting. You know, we previewed this matchup over there at MMA-Insider.com. Both fighters very, very sportsmanlike. There wasn't any trash talk, anything like that. Really, both of them just seemed to be excited for the opportunity and excited for the chance to fight, you know, a tough opponent. You know, a guy where on paper it was like an even matchup. Tyler, take me back to your early days in the sport. That first time you really had that fight where it was that toss-up fight, if you will.
Oh man, my third amateur fight, one I'll never forget. I got a concussion to prove it. Absolutely war. But those are the ones where you decide, yeah, I want to do this sport. I want to keep doing it. Or it's the ones that make you decide early on you got to get out. And we've had those fights.
Another forgotten mouthpiece. I'm not sure how that happens, but it's happened twice tonight. There we go here. I feel like Lord won that first round based on the takedown, so we'll see how things progress here in round 2. Both fighters still seem pretty fresh. Nobody really took much damage, significant damage.
Yeah, I agree that Lord won that round, and I hear his fans chanting behind us, Warlord. That's another great nickname.
That's a lot to live up to.
It is.
That's a pretty good nickname.
You think judges, because judges are human, and when you've got that crowd advantage like that, do you think that can sometimes sway reacting more to what a certain fighter does compared to another fighter? Absolutely.
You can't convince me song doesn't matter. I think it all plays a role. We're only human. Everything plays a role in this sport.
Still pretty content to stand here and scrap on the feet between these two guys. What are we looking at here, Josh? What do you think Pelletier needs to do to really assert himself in this round and get it around a piece at least?
Yeah, he seems to be moving forward a lot, throwing strikes, and he's not doing bad at all. But I think with his reach, he'd be better served to maybe establish his jab and some kicks and just take the center of the cage instead of always moving forward, where Warlord can step in and land his own shots. He's constantly moving forward. And he would just throw his jab and stay back a little bit and not give Warlord that opportunity.
Definitely both guys showing that they have some skill on the feet, which, and actually, some pretty advanced technical boxing, I think, for two guys who are as young in the sport as they are.
Yeah, one thing they're not doing, there's no filling out process almost. They're just throwing. A lot of times with new guys, you don't really see that. A lot of guys, they'll over-respect their opponent. Neither of these guys, I feel, are doing that. I feel like they're both just getting after it right off the bat.
And it looks like Lord may have maybe a cut or a hematoma developing under his left eye there. Signs of some damage that Pelletier has done.
Things like that too play a role in the judge's decision when a fight is very close.
I'm a big advocate of damage. I think damage should play more of a role.
Absolutely. And speaking of damage, there was a nice knockdown there by Pelletier.
Oh, Lord down again. Lord's on the run a little bit here, putting his hands up. He might be rocked. Knee to the body by Pelletier. Now we got some blood from Lord. Pelletier fired away. Lord might be on Dream Street here. Big right hand.
Oh, big shot by the Warlord.
He's got a bloody nose, a bloody lip. Pelletier hammering away.
Short time might be enough for him to survive.
Oh, big straight right.
That was a great round.
That was one of the better rounds all night that we've seen. Back here as we await the start of round 3 between Joey Pelletier and Jim Lord, and I think, guys, clearly we're looking at a round apiece heading into round 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fairly close round until Pelletier landed those big shots, and then it was on the brink of ending the fight right there.
And I was kind of wondering, maybe another 20 seconds in the round, will we have seen Pelletier finish that fight, Tyler?
I think there's a good chance, but at the same time, Ward was doing a good job, asserting his own, getting his distance from him, throwing a lot of front kicks right at the end there, threw a really nice tie kick. Those kicks are a good way to kind of keep your guy off of you, especially when he keeps coming forward.
Everybody remember their mouthpieces this time. That's good. There we go. Nice glove touch. Again, a good sign of sportsmanship between these two guys, which has been the case throughout the build for this fight.
I'm personally not a fan of touching gloves.
Why is that?
We're in there to fight. We can be friends later.
Fair enough. You know, we had the big heavyweight slugfest also on this card. A lot of stand-up. It was not the most technical thing, but it was exciting. This one has had almost the same level of excitement, but a lot more technique and a lot more skill and a lot more cardio going on.
A lot less breathing.
Pelletier really needs to work to stand up. You don't want to be stuck on your back in a 3-minute fight. 3-minute round.
Especially in a fight that's most likely tied with the judges right now. And some smart coaching from Jim Lord's corner telling him stay on top, keep him on his back. He's not going to be able to win the fight on his back up kicking, flailing up kicks at Jim Lord.
The thing is, he's scoring points right now. He could back up, let his opponent stand up. His opponent's not really trying to stand up. He might as well sit there, punish him a little bit, let the judges see that. When you're the guy at the bottom, you have to either stand up, start throwing up kicks like crazy, but you have to do something to change the position.
Finally, the referee stands him up here. What do you think, Josh? Does Pelletier need to try to do more here the rest of this round after, being on his back for such a prolonged period and, as you said, a short, 3-minute round?
Yeah, I really think he needs to pick up the aggression a little bit. Not blow it out until maybe the last 45 seconds of the round. Then he can really pick it up. But you have to think that he's in the deficit right now because he was on his back. Lord, on the other hand, I think he needs to pick his aggression up as well. I mean, he had him on his back, but now you don't want the round to slip away. He needs to start picking his aggression up. Especially after that second round when he was, just on the edge of losing.
And it happened fairly early in the second round, too. You want the judges to be fresh on you want to be fresh on the judge's mind.
And Lord, he took a ton of shots, ton of damage there at the end of round 2. Thought maybe he was about to go get knocked out. And he has been the more aggressive fighter here as we hit the final 10 seconds and really has controlled this final round, gentlemen.
Come on, Joey!
Count down, that's it. We're going to go to the judges. Real quickly, guys, how would you have scored the fight?
That's a tough one. Really, I really don't know. I think round 3 was the toss-up round for me.
Tyler, your thoughts?
Oh, man, I don't really want to give him on this. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go to Lord. Again, I don't.
I would go Lord.
I think that last little bit where his opponent just kind of stayed on his back, I literally think that could have been enough. That being said, Lord took quite a bit of damage round 1, so it just kind of depends on how much that weighed in the judge's decision.
We'll have to see how it goes. Cody will give us the official decision. I'm going to interview the winner, and we'll be back with more here at Apex Fights 4.
It's a draw. I'm calling draw. That last round, I could see it being a draw. I know. It is deflated, It's like
Losing sucks, so I'm not sure it's as bad as losing.
Yeah.
No.
But then you ask yourself, if I had done that much more, would I won? Just that much more.
Yeah.
This guy fights 25. This is Catchway, Jim Lord, and fight Will Price. It'd be good. Yeah, he's a lot better on his feet. Yeah.
The guy's holding the banner.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for this fight right here.
I think they are, yeah. I think there's 3 of them.
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard for decision. Judge 1 scored this bout 29-28, red corner. Judge 2 scores this bout 29-28, blue corner.
Here's the draw.
And Judge 3 scores this bout 28-28. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is a split draw.
I seem pretty happy.
There's always, like, after draw confusion, people when they walk around and just look in the cage, like, what do we do now?
Nobody trains for a draw. You just know what to expect.
Hey, Joey Pelletier. Joey, hey, come back in here, Joey. Joey, I'll bring you back in. First of all, what a fight. What a fight, a great fight. One judge seen it one way, the other had it the other way. A great performance by you. But still yet, that brings your record 2-0, still undefeated, with one draw. So we're gonna go ahead and announce your next opponent if you don't care. We're gonna put you in a title fight against Devin the Warden Ward. We'll bring Devin up. Go ahead and get a face-off here. And there's your future title fight here at Valor Fights. Be sure you're looking out for that. Great fight, Joey. Great fight, Jim Lord. In my opinion, that's the fight of the night. How'd you feel tonight?
This is what I live for. I like to say I'm a martial artist. And this is where I can truly test my skills in the ring. That's all I gotta say.
It was a draw. How'd you feel? Did you feel like at the end of the third you won that fight?
I don't know, when I'm in the ring, I'm just in the zone, so I'm not bragging, but I walked in thinking I have this victory, and when I'm in, I don't think of losing. So I was a little disappointed at being a draw, but it was one hell of a match, and it was an honor fighting Jim Lord. And I just want to keep fighting, so it doesn't matter if I win or lose.
Great attitude right there. Joey Pelletier, ladies and gentlemen.